So from the demise of Doctor Slone to Midas getting eaten by a shark, these are 5 characters Fortnite needs to bring back to the storyline, and a couple more thrown in because I like you. Thanks Meowscles. The Fortnite storyline is one of the most captivating storylines in gaming history, and on this channel we do dive into it quite a lot. Anyway, first one, Doctor Slone. During the collision event, Doctor Slone was taken out by Paradigm. But is Doctor Slone actually gone forever? Like Geno, it's clear to see some were misled about the true intentions of the Imagined Order, but they still carried out some awful things. The Imagined Order has done a lot over the thousands and thousands of years they have been in control of the 0 point. And the manipulation of that 0 point created the loop because the 0 point needed to protect itself somehow. And Jones shouldn't get away without criticism as well, to be fair. If Chapter 2 Season 5 is anything to go by, that would mean John Jones is head of loop recruitment. He at least recruited the bounty hunters to keep the loopers inside the loop against their will.
One is escaping the loop. Not on my watch.
But that's of course if they had a will, of course because they're in the loop, they can't remember everything after 22 minutes. And they just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Unlike Jones, it's not clear to see Sloane's motivation and why she put her heart and soul into the Imagined Order. Like Jones, Slone could have had her own reasons. I felt like Slone was warranted a redemption arc. But if Slone does come back as a snapshot, for me that would be a completely different Doctor Slone. It wouldn't be the Doctor Slone we know and love to this day. In my opinions, snapshots are their own person. Isn't there a possibility of Slone returning? Well, Zero War and Collision seem to leave it very open-ended, but not at the same time. Isn't there a possibility of Slone returning? I hope so. And what about Midas, the international crime boss, the man with the golden touch? And that's who we heard during the Burning Wolf trailer. Some say the Burning Wolf is just a legend. I mean, even Fortnite themselves, they completely deleted the trailer.
Most thought that the Burning Wolf was simply a legend.
I mean, it'd be nice to have Midas back because his voice actor, Matthew Mercer, would be class to hear him a bit more in the Fortnite storyline. But I feel like Midas is one of the most requested characters back to the Fortnite storyline after his failed attempt to break the loop during the device event. He came back with a vengeance, or at least revenge. Because during the Chapter 2 Season 3 trailer, it appeared Midas was eaten by a shark, although Donald Mustard would later confirm that Midas is still very much alive. Until it seemed like he was resurrected from the dead as his golden chair appeared at the Authority, where once again, along with the Shadows, he would break the loop again, or at least the reboot vans, until Galactus put an end to this. But during the upcoming seasons, characters would mention a plan, Marigold, Jules, and as recently as Meowscles. And of course we have the restaurant at Syndicate Shoals, which seems to have a lot of little teasers that Midas is here. I don't think it's an end to Midas's crime syndicate, and he will return. Now Singularity. Before we get into the reason why Singularity should return, remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help me in the YouTube algorithm, and we are 6% of the way to 100k, so get liking. Now Singularity. I know it's a fan favourite theory that Singularity was indeed the same person as Paradigm, but Zero War would put this theory to bed. And to bed it must stay, as I'm excited to learn about Singularity. Could there still be a deep relationship with Paradigm and Singularity due to the couple working together in Season 9? What has Singularity been doing since Season 9? She could still be a pretty high up member of the Imagined Order, until their demise in Season 3 of Chapter 3. We have 13 seasons of story involving Singularity of what she could have been doing. She could have left Reality 0 and gone somewhere else, maybe Reality 4, where everyone has a puppy called Fluffy. I don't know. Or maybe she could be at Reality 659 where Paradigm's gone to. Maybe because they worked together so well before, they would work together well again. Who knows? Maybe Singularity is returning this season. And maybe Singularity and Paradigm being 2 characters would be so much more better. Go off at me in the comments if you think that's a mad sort of thought, but that's what I'm thinking. I'm sorry, Zero War is currently canon, so it's canon. But guys, in Season 3, as you know, Jones went completely missing. But with the arrival of the Chrome and the 7 gone, step up John Jones. And of course Amy, who together are trying to get the 7 back to Reality 0. And of course to help Paradigm. But I'm not here to talk about OG Jones. With the Chrome spreading to what could be Jonesies in the next few weeks, they have already taken precautions to protect it against a Chrome, but it seems like this has nothing to do with no sweat insurance. It seems like the Jonesies has taken it upon themselves to do this. Obviously they don't trust them. But with Bonga Jonesy appearing to be significant in Season 8 with his visions loading screen after drinking a very delicious peely, maybe it's time that one of these came to the forefront and took a major role in the storyline. I mean, they would have the same voice actor of course, And this could be cool to see the snapshots in sort of action. And there is a lot of Jones. I mean, they kind of have it now already, but obviously in Marvel you have the Council of Reed Richards. So you have multiple Reed Richards and they all discuss multiversal things, I believe, which is kind of what's been happening at the Jonesies. And of course, with the 7 gun, we need another team to save the Omniverse. Isn't that going to be the Council of Jonesies? Actually, have that already been said in the game? I don't know if it has. And this could just be an honourable mention here, but maybe the Ice King and the Prisoner, because it seemed like Zero War put an end to their story. Once 2 great friends turned foes, and the Ice King tried everything to prevent the Prisoner getting his hands on some mythical weapons. But these mythics would eventually fall into the hands of the Fortnite competitive community, and a few sing-sings later, we would never see them again. But maybe these two will return to the storyline at some point. But I'm not sure about the Infinity Blade, that is probably gone forever. Am I right, guys? So with these honourable mentions, I feel like we have to mention Hunt's Master Saber and of course Gunner. It seemed like Gunner got taken out during Collision by the hands of Doctor Doom. But now moving on to Hunt's Master Saber, we know less about this person in terms of location and if he's even alive. But of course we presume him to be associated with Master Key, so quite an important storyline character, but we haven't seen him since Chapter 3 Season 2. During the end event of Chapter 2, as the Cube Queen was trying to bring the lost reality to the Iron, she would appear to many to die simply to water. This is simply not the case. The pure portal she attempted to open to bring the last reality through simply closed due to the water, which rifted her away and indeed closed the pure portal. Growing speculation would have it that she is connected to the Herald, and that the Herald is the Herald of the Queen, and that these two will bring the nothing, as only nothing will remain. Is this simply the end of everything, and that together the Cube Queen and the Herald will end the 0 Point existence? Now, Geno, the leader of the Imagined Order, hasn't really been involved in terms of storyline within the game, but played a massive part in the Zero War comics. And what we found out in the comics, even though the Imagined Order may do some terrible things, what they were doing with the 0 Point was in the best interest of everyone. That's what they believed. And I mean, look at what the 7 done within a season with the 0 Point. I mean, it's better the villain you know than the villain you don't. But at the end of the Zero War issue 5, it would appear that Geno and the Imagined died. And that because Geno and the Imagined fell through an uncontrolled 0 Point, that their matter started to spread across the entire Omniverse. But to quote the scientists here, matter would resolve rather than push, and Geno would appear to come back together at the end of the comic. But of course Geno will return to the Fortnite storyline, but as a villain or a anti-hero type, because I believe the 7 will be crying out for somebody's help. I believe that to be Geno. On this channel, guys, we love to dive into the Fortnite storyline and lore, and if you love that too, you may enjoy this video about the entire storyline of the 7. And it is a Discord as well for this community, the House of Y, where we talk about the Fortnite storyline and lore, and the links for that is in the description and should be the pinned comment as well. Guys, remember to hit that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's been your boy, mrjayowhyii. It's next time, bye bye.